Agora in Portuguese means now. And our tagline is inventing the next. So now is the time to invent the next. And this is the message we tell for ourselves. We address decarbonization and energy storage for the energy transition with one technology. Agora was founded around scientific discoveries. We push the boundary toward new technologies to address certain needs and problems. The product that we are working on now is the CO2 redox flow battery. So if we deconstruct the name, first of all, it's a battery. It's a large-scale battery at industrial scale. As the name says, it's a CO2-based battery. That means that we tap into a CO2 waste to actually put it to work in a battery to produce something very useful, electricity. And because these are large batteries, this is done at very large scales. It has an impact at many, many levels. Of particular interest will be also areas that are impacted now by energy poverty. Because it's CO2 based, the whole system becomes very cheap. For instance, if we look at lithium, it costs about $13,000 per ton. When we look at CO2, it's $100 per ton. It started on Mars, really. I'm passionate about the Mars. What would you do with so much CO2 on Mars? It has 98% CO2 in the atmosphere. Can you have a system that exploits what CO2 can do, such that the input to be CO2 and the output to be electricity? This idea started about 10 years ago, so it was a long iteration process. And by the time the entire process was designed, we had two crises on our hand here on Earth. And suddenly it became this viable, profitable technology that can be done to solve our problem. This is how Hello Tomorrow was very different compared to others. While everybody is claiming that they want disruption, in reality, people feel comfortable with familiarity. You move away from a status quo, you have to acknowledge that the solution will look different and they will be more risky. Everywhere. Are you a big emitter of CO2? You probably would need something like this. Are you a data center? Yes, you need something like this. Are you a remote island? Yes, you might need something like this. It moved us from doing our work tediously in the background to the reflector to be on us and motivating us more to do it faster and better and bring it to a commercial outcome as soon as possible. And it also opened the opportunity to meet different type of corporations and investors. So ever since we won, we got emails pretty much every week. There are live discussions with corporations that we haven't dealt with before, and the interest is quite high. So the next step is to continue discussion and collaboration and to try to bring in the company more and more dreamers, because that's what Agora is all about.